And now it's time for a preview of an upcoming game by Tom Vasel.
Does our society today run around coffee? Well, I wouldn't know. I get tea. But even if you like tea or coffee, there are some people who tend to like really expensive tea and coffee, and they like to go to different places like Starbucks and so on. Well, that's what this game is about. This game's currently on Kickstarter, and today I'm showing you a preview about how this game plays, Expresso. In this game, you are someone who is working at one of these coffee shops, and you are trying to get tips by pleasing your customers, and perhaps these customers are a little bit more finicky than normal customers or not. But anyway, the first person to do them. It's a light card game. It's for 2 to 6 players. Let me show you how it plays. As with all my Kickstarter reviews, I like to point out that the components that you're seeing here are not complete. Some of the stuff may be final, like perhaps the artwork and some of the layout, but it's just a prototype, and it's so that you can see how to play the game. Now, what you're doing in this game is you are going to be one of the baristas here. And let's take a closer look at these cards. These cards have a few stats that are on them. The number here is how many actions you get each turn. The number after that is how many cards you'll draw each turn. You have special abilities that you can use. They cost a specific number of actions. So for example, Mitch here, his actions cost 3 each, so they would use all his actions, while Rick has 4 actions, and so he could forget an ingredient for 2. Or give out free samples for 3, and one would leave him with 2 actions left over, another would leave him with 3. And they also have special abilities at the bottom that you can do that give you different things. Now, what these baristas are trying to do is they're trying to please customers. There's going to be a lot of customers that are in this game, and these customers are looking for very specific things. Like, for example, Jesse here wants some chai tea, some sugar, milk, and cinnamon. And he might want a muffin. The muffin he doesn't absolutely need, but he'll give you a bonus tip if you bring that to him. He also likes to talk on his cell phone a lot. That's what this symbol up here is for. And that number next to the magnifying glass, there's a couple of the baristas who have a special ability where they can ignore ingredients because the guy's too distracted, and then that's the number that they would use for that special ability. Another example here, Kara, she also wants chai tea. Here we have Harry wants a cup of coffee, 2 sugars, chocolate, whipped topping, and a gift card would make him happy too. Now on the other side here, you can see this is the size of the tip that Harry gives you. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to have a customer placed in front of them, and you're going to keep a token here to keep track. If you can give him all the stuff on your first turn, he gives you a tip of 4 coins. If you don't, then he gets impatient, and next turn he'll give you 3, then 1, and then disappear. So that's how customers and baristas work. Now, players are going to have a hand of cards, and they have a hand limit of 9, but they'll start with some cards. And in the middle of the table, there's more ingredient cards with 4 that are placed face up. And there's all sorts of cards. You can see artificial sweetener, cup of coffee, apple juice, chai tea, gift card, chocolate, Irish cream, yogurt, muffin, cinnamon, whipped topping, milk, shot of peppermint, sugar. Perhaps this is making some of you thirsty as we speak. So on your turn, any customers that you have that you've had a full turn before will have their token moved down because they get more impatient. And then you will take your actions that you have. Now you can trade these ingredients that you have in your hand with other players as a free action, but you can also, once per turn, trade one of the cards from your hand with one of the ones up here on the tabletop. You can even pay a coin, which is dangerous, but you can do it. Because that's money to wipe these 4 to get 4 new ones out there. You can complete an order. That's an action. So you use all the cards from your hand that you need to complete, perhaps, Steven's order where he wants chai tea, milk, and whipped topping. I can do all that. Maybe I have Wi-Fi, also a card that gives that. And then he'll give me a bonus of 3 coins, which is, again, the whole goal of the game is to get these coins. 15 of these coins is how you win. And then there's special actions that the players can take. For example, Betty here can choose another player to show her their whole hand for 2, and she can switch spots 2 players, and they'll have a different order for 3 actions. And also on her turn, she can exchange all her actions and her salary for a completely new hand. So there's different things that you will do on your turn. You can fulfill an order that's in front of somebody else. So if there's a customer in front of someone else, you can fulfill their order. However, they will also get 1 coin tip, so you help them out a little bit. Now, there's a couple of things on these customer cards that also will affect. At the beginning of your turn, if you don't have 2 customers, you will draw a new customer, and the most you'll ever have is 2. But you can see here, Stephen here likes to use a cell phone. He's a journalist. Over here, though, we can see that this Stephen, with a V, he hates cell phones. It's simple there. So, I'm sorry, no, he hates babies. That's even worse than hating cell phones. So if Stephen's ever around and someone with a baby shows up, like let's say Molly here comes in with a baby, and she's adjacent to Stephen, then he's going to get impatient. He'll move down 1 more. Now this Stephen here with the cell phone, if he's next to Jenny or someone who doesn't like cell phones, so for example Harrison here, Harrison gets annoyed when people have cell phones, and so if he's next to Stephen, he'll get more impatient. So you have to be careful. Some people get more impatient when others show up who are doing things they don't like, whether they're smoking or have babies or cell phones, etc. So this will continue. You'll go around the table playing turn after turn after turn. The first person to get 15 coins worth of tips is the winner of the game. Right off the bat, I can see this being a good gift to anybody who likes coffee. I mean, there's not too many games that are about coffee that aren't super complex. This one is very easy to get into. The game is going to be very easy. It's not so much of a take-that game, although there's some take-that elements to it sometimes with some of the special abilities that the different workers have. And there are some special cards that are in the deck that when they show up, something happens, like maybe your worker got sick. So for that turn, you have to use a random one from the deck. Things like that. That basically is a backup. But it's all about working, and the game really gets interesting when you start trading with the other players. So that trading is there. You can always trade with the table, and you have the different ingredients, and the theme comes through very strongly. We have a very strong coffee theme, or chai tea or whatever theme, coming through with all the different things. So I think that's going to appeal to people who like that sort of thing. This is a game that plays fairly quickly. We're talking 20, maybe 30 minutes maximum, but not much more than that. And it goes around very quickly, even with 6 players. So, Expresso, do you want to support a game about coffee? Are you interested in a card game that works like that? In just a moment, I'll show you the Kickstarter link, and you can back it there. Expresso. Or is it espresso? I've never been sure.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.